What up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. So today I wanted to do something a little bit different. I wanted to make you guys a tier list. Not just any tier list, though. I'm going to make you a tier list for what is good and what is not good in the brand new Apex Legends Arena mode. Because the meta that is in the regular Battle Royale mode that we all know Apex for is not exactly the meta that we know in the Arena mode. So we're just going to go through that. We're going to reach every single legend that has ever been in the game. And we're going to rank them the best that we can, at least to my personal opinion. There are going to be a few characters that maybe you don't disagree with, or maybe there's some characters that you do agree with. But if you do disagree or agree with me, just let me know in the comments down below after the video. So let's just jump into it. We're going to start with C tier. I don't know why this D tier is still here, actually. We're going to go ahead and delete this row, all right? And this is how I'm going to rank this so far, okay? So with S tier, these are the legends that I would most recommend you play in arena modes because they are completely overpowered and they are just nearly unstoppable if the other team isn't even running them. A tier is good legends and they highly complement S tier. B tier legends, they can be played, but I would highly recommend not and just kind of staying near the A and S. There's not really any legends that I know of in particular that are going to be in C, except maybe like one or two in particular that are just straight up useless in an arena mode. And if they're in C mode, I highly recommend that you just do not play these legends in arenas at all because they are beyond useless in arena modes, at least. So we're gonna start out with C, and I've got a few legends that are here. So never mind what I said before. There are a few legends that absolutely belong in here. Number one, and of course, it's Gas Daddy himself, Caustic. Caustic can be used for, he used to be meta in the Battle Royale mode, absolutely got nerfed to the ground, and even in arena modes, he is just straight up useless. His gas is useless. Just everything about his kit is useless in arena modes because you don't like you can bunker up in arena mode, I guess per se, but everybody's just so aggressive right now that Gas Daddy just doesn't really bring anything to the table. So next up behind him, just slightly better. I want to put Fusey Boy in there, our Australian dad himself. In the BR mode, he's become a little bit more useful, but in arena modes, his knuckle clusters, his fire, they just don't bring the same pizzazz anymore that we know and love our man for. And then the final one in C I want to bring in is Crypto. In the BR mode, Crypto is actually very, very overpowered in my opinion. Everybody basically except the United States, whenever it comes to meta, has incorporated Crypto in some sort of way because Crypto is insane. His drone ability, his EMP ability, his scanning just makes him top tier for competitive use. But whenever coming into the arena mode, he's just not as useful for it anymore. His scans, his drone, because you know where information is. And if you're looking for information, you want to know where people are, that's what you have Bloodhound for. And he's quick and he's viable. He can scan while also being out and do everything else. Crypto just can't do that, making him not as viable in arenas. I'm gonna go ahead and put Mirage in here as well, probably a little bit below Fusey. There's a lot more people in C than I originally imagined. Mirage, a very, very kind of fun character, but let's be honest here, guys, okay? Let's be honest. Mirage is never going to be meta. I don't know what they could possibly do to Mirage's kit to make him meta. He just doesn't belong in arenas or the Battle Royale. But if you're just down for having some fun, hey, Mirage is your go-to guy. All right, I think that's everything for C. Four characters in C. Just if I load into a game and one of my teammates or one of the other guys is playing one of those characters, I know it's just an instant loss for that team. Going up to B tier, I think I'm going to start it out with an absolute meta changer, Revenant, who is actually causing an absolute terror in the Battle Royale ranked right now. The dude's insane. I mean, his ultimate combined with other ultimates makes him crazy useful. But in the arena modes, you just don't have enough time to set up an ultimate and push like that. I mean, especially whenever the other team sees you Revenant ulting like that and they send you back. I mean, if your Rev ult doesn't work properly, you're immediately being shoved back in your face because you're already at a disadvantage health-wise. So, I mean, Revenant for this piece at least just isn't as useful, but he if used properly, he can be. But very, very rarely do you ever see somebody using Revenant properly in arena modes. So next one I'm going to throw up there is probably Octane. I think Octane is actually a really, really good legend when it comes to arena modes. I mean, he's speedy. He's got his jump pad. But whenever it comes to team usability, he's never really there for the team like he used to be. In the Battle Royale mode, Season 8 or whatever it was, him and Revenant would just absolutely throw a tear together. But Octane in the arena mode, he's good for like shooting yourself forwards and being the first one to get heals inside of the bins, or making sure that you get the crafters, or making sure that you have forward point. But for Octane, that's really all that he's useful. I mean, his stim is putting him at a health disadvantage whenever arenas is all about just poke damage. So, I mean, he's useful in some senses, but in the reality of it, I just wouldn't recommend anybody play Octane when it comes down to it, unless you just want to make sure that you grab those heals. But if you're making sure that you want to grab those heals, I would just recommend Loba for that, because Loba is actually insane for arenas. Next one that I want to put up behind her is actually going to be Horizon. Horizon, again, in ranked, ever since she's been released, has been an absolute terror. People have been complaining about her. But whenever it comes to arenas, her gravity lifts just don't bring a lot to the table. There's not a lot of situations where you're needing to actually get the high ground immediately, because people are starting out on opposite side of the arenas and then they're pushing together. People are already on a height. You don't need to readjust for that situation unless someone falls. So there are some situations where Horizon is useful, like getting teammates up to her if they fall, or if you need to get a down teammate out of there. But usually you're just getting followed. And her black hole isn't even useful in arenas either, because it's just super hard to catch someone inside of that ultimate inside of arenas. People are playing so passive or so aggressive that it just basically nullifies her in almost every single way possible. And I think that's actually going to be it for B. Everybody else on this tier list is actually A or higher. So I'm going to go ahead and start out A tier list with Wraith. Ooh, I just smacked my microphone. I'm so sorry. So Wraith, you know, being one of the best legends in the game since the very beginning, her Q, her portal, her ability to get teammates anywhere and anywhere fast, also her hitbox, I mean, just makes her viable in almost every situation, especially basically giving her a second free life. I mean, if she's caught out in a situation, she's by herself, she's solo pushed, and she's not in a good situation. She Qs, she gets out of there, she's in a great situation. She buys herself her ultimate. She's got herself a portal. She gets her team in there, you know? She gets somebody low portals in there. You're good to go. I think Wraith is going to be absolutely fantastic one day whenever it comes to arenas. She's not quite there, but if they made some adjustments for her specifically in arenas, I could see her being absolutely amazing. So the next legend I think deserves to be an A is Gibraltar. Gibraltar, the fat man himself. We all love this guy. His voice lines, his charisma. We all love this dude. He had a little bit of time where he was a little bit overpowered. No, I'm going to back that up. He was majorly overpowered. All right. Gibraltar was a must-play legend in ranked and comp. And in arenas, it's really no different when it comes down to it. His gun shield adds so much to it, because when you're surviving off of heals and you're just trying to do as much poke damage, that gun shield can actually save you some heals. I mean, the enemy team's got to do 45 damage to that gun shield before they start bleeding through onto your armor. So that gives you plenty of time to back up if they're doing damage to you, or even if they catch you off guard and your arm shield is up. And the dome, I mean, if you get caught out or your teammates get caught out and they do go down in the middle of nowhere and they're in a safe space, you can dome them, res them, and heal inside of it before the other team even catches up to you, making him just an absolute must pick as well in arenas. I mean, him powered up with Lifeline or Bloodhound or Valkyrie can just it can make the other team shiver whenever it comes down to it. All right, and next up, I think I'm gonna have to put the girl that we all love, Wattson, in A tier as well. I know some people are gonna be weird about that. Wattson's kind of in a weird spot, but I do think with Wattson's fences, I mean, she gets 5 fences for free every single round, making it so if you do find a good spot and you want to bunker up, or if you need to like fence off an area so you can get a res or one of your teammates can get a res, she's right there. Her ultimate is also extremely powerful. With how much people are using grenades in the arena mode, it makes it so important to make sure that you have her ultimate there to help heal up shields. I mean, again, in another poke paddle game, I mean, if her ultimate is up and in a safe place where the other team can't shoot it, you are constantly healing shields. And I just with the fences and everything, she's another one of those must picks, especially whenever compared and put together with certain legends. She can be an absolute force to be reckoned with. Right in front of her, I think we're gonna go with the love of everybody's life, Pathfinder, the killer robot himself. Pathfinder does get 3 free grapples every single game, and has like a 10 to 15 second cooldown on them no matter what. So they're a little bit shorter than what they are in the Battle Royale mode, and you get them for free. So with that grapple, you can basically do what Octane can do, except better because you're not losing any heals, and he can buy his ultimate and a gun first round, making it so you can put your zipline up first to make sure that you get to a guaranteed spot before the other team. Combine that together with a whole bunch of other legends, that just makes him super viable and super useful whenever positioning is absolutely everything. And whenever movement is absolutely everything. Whenever he gets low or even gets in a situation where he doesn't want to be in, if he gets pinched, he can use one of his 3 free grapples to grapple himself out of that situation. And if done properly, he can probably start healing in the middle of that grapple and be ready to go and up with his teammates again super soon after that. So after and up above Pathfinder, I want to put our girl Bangalore. I've never really spoke highly of Bangalore when it comes to the Battle Royale, because in the general population of things, I don't think Bangalore is really that useful in the Battle Royale. Now, the arena mode is something a little different. Even before the arena mode was ever even like thought of for the general population of Apex, I always said I think Bangalore would be a great idea for, you know, I stated it as a strategic shooter, kind of like Counter-Strike. Her kit works really well for arena type shooters, strategic shooters, because her smokes, her ultimate, if worked around properly, like they should be, that's where she thrives in. She is a military-based person. Now, she's not the best person that you could use in arenas, but she is a military-based shooter. She is great for making sure that you can push the pills or crafting material early on and not be able to be seen. You do have to be careful, though, because if you don't have a digital threat on one of your weapons, your smokes can end up being used against you. But 90% of the time, that doesn't really happen because people aren't fully kitting out an R99, an RE45, or a Volt. That's something that I do personally, but I know a lot of other people don't do that, especially Bangalore mains. But if you are a Bangalore main, I recommend that you start buying things that have a digital threat with them, because combine those with the smokes. You can use the smoke to push forward and gain ground on your enemies with your entire team. And if you have digi threats and they don't, you are just obliterating those guys. And a lot of people in the arena modes like to use snipers for some reason. I've never really figured that part out. Bangalore can smoke those people off for you to push and get closer and use your close-ranged weapons against their snipers, affording you a win. Now, the last person I think deserves to be at the highest tier is Valkyrie. Valkyrie is a wonderful, wonderful legend, even in the BR mode. A lot of people have been comparing her to Horizon, but Horizon was broken. Valkyrie is good. She is not broken. She is not overpowered. She is very, very good. She is probably one of the most balanced legends we have ever seen. Her jetpacks allowing her to reposition herself height-wise without ever having to climb. Her missiles making, like, if someone's healing behind cover low, those missiles go out, stunning them or forcing that person to move out of cover. Then you're getting the down after that. And if they don't move and you stun them, you can push them immediately off of that and ensuring a kill. And her ultimate in arenas, I have learned a lot in my 200 games of arenas. You can use her ultimate to scout early which side people are going to and figure out, do we want to push them right off of the bat, or do we want to go get something else, go get the heals, go get the crafting materials before we do that. Horizon, if used properly, all right? There are some people out there who don't use Horizon's abilities to the best of what she can do. But if used to the best of her abilities, she's the best A-tier legend that we have. All right, now going on to S, these are people that I would highly recommend that you have on your team. At the lowest position, I'm going to have to put Rampart. Whenever it comes to position and holding things down, Rampart does it best than everybody. She has literal walls with little force fields that can't be shot through from one side, but if shot through from the other, literally just enhances the damage of the bullet. And I've come against some really, really good Rampart mains, or people that have been playing Rampart in arenas. And if done properly, if used properly, she can be absolutely terrifying. But also you have to be careful, because if the other team does push you properly, they'll get behind your walls. And if that's the only line of defense you have, you're getting run over. So my only advice to you is just make sure that you set up her walls properly and set it up in an actual viable situation that has a little bit of forward momentum. You can't be sitting on top of a building near your spawn with your walls up and expect to do well. You need to find forward momentum with a Pathfinder or an Octane early on and set up and then expect the push from there. She is very powerful, and I highly recommend that you play her. Right next to her is going to have to be Loba. And solely for her market, because her ultimate can only be used once a game. But if you are getting beat to the heals, there is one round where you can use her ultimate, throw it down, and reach both pills at the same time in a game and steal every single heal in a round. And that's putting your team at a massive advantage, because now you've all of a sudden got 2 Phoenix kits, 2 more med kits, and 4 batteries right at your disposal for your team to use. And her bracelet now being able to be used moving at full speed, she's basically the new Octane of arenas. Like how Octane was overpowered in season 7 and season 8, she is now overpowered in arenas because of her bracelet in that way. You can use it to get aggressive. You can use it to degress, get away and heal, because she's not slowing down. You learn how to B-hop while throwing the bracelet. Nobody's going to be catching up to you. Maybe an Octane, but he's already hurting. He's got to stim himself to get to you a few times. So Loba deserves to be up there. All right, and next to her, I'm going to have to put Bloodhound. Our dude, our broski, they, them, Bloodhound is absolutely insane. The scans as one, absolute game changer. You have instant information of where everybody is, obviously. The ultimate is super cheap to buy, and you can buy that straight off the bat, and it comes with a free scan as well. So you can get 2 scans for an easy price right there, right off the bat. And that's a ton of information that you need for your team to figure out, okay, where are they pushing? Are they together? Is anybody separated that we can absolutely bum rush and get them out of the game early? Bloodhound, I mean, obviously, he's basically just a wall hack on his own. You need to run Bloodhound. But Bloodhound with a combination of Lifeline. Lifeline is single-handedly the best character in arenas. All right? And here's why. First round in every round, you can buy yourself her ultimate, her care package. It comes with a guaranteed blue weapon at the very least and 2 batteries. For 400 crafting materials, you get 2 batteries and a guaranteed blue weapon. That's almost 800 800 crafting materials worth of items right there. And later on, you can drop batteries, drop heals for your other teammates, and she can res 2 teammates at once. She may not have her res shield anymore, but she can res 2 people at one time without actually having to res them. She can still hold down cover fire while they're doing that. Mix that with the gold backpack that you can buy for 200 material as well. I mean, second round, you have a care package and a gold backpack, making Lifeline the most overpowered character in the game. If you have a good Lifeline on your team, you're winning that game guaranteed every single round. As long as you're playing with your team, as I like to say, butt slapping distance within your teammates, you're guaranteed a good to go game. So guys, that is my tier list from C to S tier. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you agree with me, let me know in the comments. If you disagree with me, let me know in the comments. Be sure to like and subscribe if you're new to the channel as well. I will see you guys Monday for stream. Otherwise, you guys have a wonderful weekend. I'll see you next time. Later.